Ladies and gents, 2 in a row. We've been saying a lot about how we have been looking at the big, beautiful bounce for quite a while now, but today both stocks are up. AMC and GME up about 12%. AMC, 8%. GME, both are nearing their levels of resistances previously mentioned on the video we just talked about. If you guys stick until the end of the video, make sure that you guys understand that there are serious ramifications to what the market's going to go through now that Russia has officially invaded Ukraine. Second, you have to understand that the earnings report coming out on March 1st for AMC is going to rock both of these stocks. And finally, you have to understand that at the end of the day, these short reports, these data, these metrics don't mean anything unless more people understand the story. So if you guys want to spread the message, share this video by liking it and by giving it to someone new. Now that you've left a comment about which like you guys are, up to 1,200, let's begin. 21% short interest today, about 108 million on that 500 mil for AMC. Same thing for GME, about 20%, 12 million short interest over on GameStop. The most important thing to notice about these two numbers is that the shorts have not changed their positions as of the recording of Ortex and scraping the data. Understand that it's about T+2 in about 2 days. You're going to find a very important a very important detail of whether or not AMC and GME have had either a reduction of shorts or a strong gathering of them. This could be one of two things, which is why I'm going to bring up the options chain. Take a look at $25 strike. We have about $4 million worth of puts right there. That is astronomical. We haven't seen something right at one single strike price ever since, I think, back in July. We haven't seen this the specific amount of in the money puts before. So $25 strike put. Obviously, anybody would love to sell AMC for $25 now just to buy back in for more, of course, but this is in the money already, which means it must have become with a very heavy premium. So something that you guys have to understand is that now we are looking at gamma flow both directions. Originally, it was a lot of in the money calls as well as far out of the money ones that were bringing the gamma chain forward. But now we're looking at these deep in the money puts suspiciously. We're going to have to investigate more just to understand what is going on. Like we said in the last video, AMC was looking at bouncing, and the after hours it had 15.69, went all the way down to $14.10 before recovering just within the first hour of trading. Now that was a tenuous hour, but you would have been able to jump in at $14, jump all the way up to $17 within a specific time frame. Which specific time frame? Here you would have been able to see the last of the oversold Bollingers down here. This would have been a very clean sign, especially if you have something like Lux algorithm, to be able to jump in. In fact, AMC has not dipped beneath that fourth level of oversold, this green cloud here. The fourth level of that Bollinger cloud for as far back as you can trace it. And then you would have been able to get the honest to truth buy signal from Lux algorithm shortly after. GME also had a buy signal when it crossed to that EQ band. Last time we were talking about that EQ band being closer to 118. Same thing with AMC, right around the middle of these two Bollingers, but then we would have been able to see a clean MACD crossover. That's what we're looking for now, and what we're going to be looking for the rest of the day. Looking to see whether this orange line here is going to start petering out, and we're going to have more consistency, more consolidation. We saw at the very, very bottom of where that price level was, we saw that the orange line here started to pan out, started to have a zero slope, and then started to reverse track. Once it crossed over, would have been the best time to enter. So make sure you guys are not sleeping on that moving average convergence divergence metric right there. MACD is what we are here to aim to please. Make sure that you guys understand that this is now AMC's tracking along a longer pattern here. We've had a multi-day downward spiral here, starting from $20.23 all the way down to $14 during after hours and the beginning of the markets earlier today. That's something that would be able to, if you guys are tracking this, come down towards closer to a double bottom or perhaps a pennant inward. Two of the patterns that I can imagine here, if I draw out my pen. Same thing for GameStop, by the way. It's not just AMC and GME that went wild today, but Bed Bath & Beyond. We have CEI, we have UEC, PUBM, we have CAR, we have CENN, Dash, Rivian. A lot of these stocks had been pushing pushing further into the second half of the trading day today. So if you guys are paying attention to a potential pennant here, that could be the upward pennant that we were looking for, a bullish pennant here. You would be able to then see that pattern track through the rest of the day right there. And then we'll be looking for a breakout either by end of Friday or somewhere closer to Monday. So that's a potential for the next day. Something else would be to watch out for would be a double bottom, something that would be tracing back down to similar levels, even all the way down to $14. Of course, that would be tracking the after hours price volume as well. Something that's a little bit more likely is that you'll be able to see a double bottom from here, and then you would be able to track that price action upward back up to $20. Same thing for a very, very similar thing for GME. They're essentially the same pictures except with different resistances and supports. So though you are facing a resistance at $125, pay attention to 118 because that's going to be your next level of support. And if that bounces off nicely, track backwards up to 125 over back to 133. That's where you could expect GameStop if a bullish pattern continues there. I want to be able to say that all of this is just with the data that we have at hand. We know that March 1st, we're going to have the Q4 2021 earnings call for AMC, which is going to cause both of these stocks to react accordingly. We've seen on either day, doesn't matter which day, which company is having their earnings call, both of these stocks fluctuate wildly. So be sure that you guys are there because we are going to not only live stream that, but continue our prestigious events of Sleeping Meatball in the Corner and giving you guys the data to continue on with your day. If this video was somehow interesting, educational, or something that you enjoyed, please do make sure to drop a like because, once again, spreads the message out there and destroys that YouTube algorithm together. And then finally, something that you could do as well is press that subscribe button if you guys are starting the investment journey into yourselves. If you guys want to be able to find a description down below that would be able to help you with the trading tools such as Lux, Algo, and ChatterQuant, something that gives you data directly to you and tailored to how you use data, something that if you guys don't, if you guys are just starting your data journey, I'd be happy to point out some of the links in the description, some tools that you have 20 to 30% off for. And finally, I want to give you guys a big shout out for supporting the show by watching all the way to the end. And for those of you who have pressed that join button next to the subscribe button, you guys are extra cool. Thanks to those of you who are supporting on Patreon as well. And finally, thanks to you for just being you. To the families out there that are now starting to become involved in a Ukraine versus Russia all-out attack, please, our thoughts are going out to you. And we'll see all of you in the money. Peace.